Well, hey guys, it's been a minute since I made a video. Life kind of got away from me. Good thing I don't make a living on YouTube because I'd be broke right now. Anyway, I'm here in the great outdoors of Utah, but not where you might expect. I'm testing out my Canon V10 vlogging camera, and this video is a review, a real-world review of the camera. And as you can see behind me, I'm in a very crowded cemetery, not in the mountains, and Scraps is having a great time rolling around in the grass. The reason I'm here is I tried to go to a trailhead up there in the mountains, and it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and every trailhead was just packed with people who had the same idea. Let's go hiking on our day off. So we're going to wander through this cemetery, and you might wonder why, and I'll explain that in a minute. I took this camera on my Ibantic Lake backpacking trip, my solo trip last August, end of August, beginning of September. During that trip, I tested the camera. I had multiple problems with it. I must have charged the thing 10 times during that trip. That was really frustrating. I left that footage out of the Ibantic Lake trip, and I'll be including it in this video so that you can get a taste of the problems I've had with this camera. Now, this camera is made specifically for vlogging. It's specially designed. It's called the V10, the Canon V10. V means vlogging camera. I don't know what the 10 is, but hopefully it's not their 10th try at making it right. So here are the problems I've had. I've had this thing have to be recharged multiple times during one trip. It actually drained my large, high-capacity power bank that I use to recharge all my camera equipment every time I go. I've never had a power bank completely drain on me. I couldn't believe how quickly the battery drained. And the other problem I've had with this camera was I decided after the trip to use it as a personal vlogging camera. I made journal entries for my own personal use. I'm a journaler, but mostly a writing journaler. I decided to try video to see how the camera did, and I ran into the same problem. Within 15 minutes, not only did this camera battery drain, it also overheated. It actually had a little symbol that came up on the screen, a little temperature, a little thermometer signal popped up that said that the camera was overheating, and it shut down on me completely. So not only did it die quickly, it was also overheating. And I was about to throw this thing out the window. So what I'm doing today is I'm walking around the cemetery. I was gonna do a hike. Instead, I'm at a crowded cemetery, but these people aren't gonna interrupt my video. If they do, I'm going to be pretty freaked out. Anyway, I'm going to film for about an hour. The difference between filming now and filming on that trip is that I discovered that this camera was set at its highest setting. So 4K at its highest setting. It has like 3 or 4 different 4K settings, and this was set at the very highest setting. The problem with that, and I've seen this problem with newer GoPros as well, is that battery overheats and drains quickly when it's set in that high of a mode. So I'm testing right now to see if, now that I've lowered the resolution down to 1080p, I'll process the video in 4K. If you're not a gear junkie or a techie at all, I'm not really, but if you're not interested in this, I don't blame you. It's not my usual video, but I felt like the truth had to be out there. And now that we're in 1080p, which is what I'm filming in at this moment, I'm gonna see if the battery drains as quickly as it did in 4K. I will also be doing some testing at home with it to see if it overheats in 1080p, because it was definitely overheating in 4K. So it may just be that I have to film in 1080p and upload videos, process videos in my editing software in 4K. I'm not sure. I'm gonna wander around here. I'm gonna keep filming and just running my mouth. This won't be an hour-long video. I'm not gonna keep all the footage in. I just have to keep the camera running. Hey, buddy. Leave that alone. Come on. Don't pee on their flowers. In the meantime, here is the footage that I left out of the Ibantic Lake trip. As I struggled through that trip, I was going to film the entire hike out from Ibantic Lake, and I was unable to because the battery had died and it had completely depleted my power bank. So none of that footage happened. So that was really frustrating. But right now, I've been filming for almost 8 minutes in 1080p and the battery is still showing full. I've had this thing drain in as fast as 15 minutes and overheat in that time as well. So here's the footage from Ibantic Lake of me testing the camera. I bleeped out the swears because I got pretty angry. This camera runs about $500 and I was not happy that it wasn't working very well. So here you go. I'll come back in a little bit. So a couple of items to note as we make our way down the trail. I'm kind of taking a side trail here for a second so I could talk. This is a brand new camera. This is the, I'll put it up here on the screen. Not big on the names, I just need the functionality. So this is its Virgin Trip. I have no idea how this will turn out until I get back and edit the video. So it was time for a new camera. This will be, I don't know, the 5th camera I've used since starting my channel back in 2014. So I'm excited to see how it goes. It came with really good ratings and that kind of thing. This camera, the battery life, frankly, it's pretty terrible. But I did read online that continuously filming, it'll last about an hour, and it's an internal battery. It's already down to about 1/3 of a battery. So, I don't know. I'm used to the internal battery. The reviews I've watched, they complained about things that are non-issues to me, like having to carry a power bank to keep it charged. I think it's in one of these pockets. I'm going to get it out and charge it for a while. That's normal for me because I come up here into the mountains. I obviously can't plug things into a rock. So that wasn't an issue. The battery life lasting an hour, meh. My other camera, which is also a Canon, the battery would last me most of a day before it would start running low. And then I'd throw it on the charger when I set up camp. This is less of a battery life. The other thing is, well, it fits literally in the palm of my hand. It's about the size of a deck of cards. And it's more lightweight, it's easier to carry. The video quality is supposed to be superb. The sound is supposed to be amazing. So far, the only drawback I've really found, I don't know if it zooms or not, I haven't monkeyed with it enough. But the only problem I've found so far is the battery. So I'm gonna hang out here, throw a charge on this so I can continue filming. Well, I charged it for a few minutes and it says the battery's full. We'll see. I thought I would be at camp by now. I don't know where I lost a couple of hours. We're not that far down the trail and I don't know why it's 2:30. That's 3 hours, so I must be stopping to film and take pictures a lot more than I think I am. Okay, my battery is flashing red, so I'm going to have to stop filming here for a minute. I didn't give it a full charge. It just said I did. So as we make our way down here, I'm gonna have to stop for maybe a half hour. It is 3:24 p.m. So I'll come back in a little bit. All set up. Got the water filled and the camera is fully charged. So hopefully it'll get me through the night. Big downside to this camera. However, an upside of that, it did not take long to fully charge this camera. I think I was mistaken before. And another thing I want to bring up, I charged this when I first got it. It was totally dead when it arrived in the package. And I charged it completely, and then I left it sitting on my dresser for 2 weeks, and then I went on this trip assuming it had a full battery. So some of my battery loss on the way in may have been just that it sat for 2 weeks. So I'm already at half a battery. Unreal. Tear into this. Oh shit, my battery's dying. What a piece of shit. Okay, I have to charge this camera again, so I'll come back. Okay, I've got the camera on the charger. Big drawback to this camera. For the price you pay, that battery life should be much longer. I don't mind it being an internal battery, but man, it literally lasts maybe an hour, and that's not constant filming, that's just turning it on and off. That drains the battery. My other camera, and it does really well, it's just the sound got screwed up, and I decided to try something different. Camera's kind of pricey for what I'm getting for my money. We're gonna go down to the lake and do some exploring as soon as I can get a decent charge on this. Okay, it's not full, but battery will have to do. Pretty soon I'll be retiring for the night and throwing this on the charger anyway. Good morning. Let's talk about this camera. So I have charged this camera so many times on this trip. It's maiden voyage. I want to show you something else associated with it. So I brought a backup charging bank, but this brick right here, I've been using it for years, okay? There are 4 dots showing full battery on 4 dots. I'm down to 1. It has this solar feature that doesn't do anything. It's novelty. But when I charge this at home, give it a full charge, on my old camera and with my phone, I could go 3 days before it would get to this point. I'm already at that point because I have charged this camera that you're watching this on 4 different times. And I'm gonna have to charge it again before we hike out of here because this is a fresh charge, but it doesn't record for very long. So it has drained this battery that bad. This is a 25,000 milliamp brick. Basically with my old camera, I could go 3 days on that and maybe charge it once at the end of the day. So I'm really frustrated because I'm pretty much invested in this camera. I have other things I can use it for, but I won't be using it for vlogging the great outdoors because I can't come out. What if I'd come out here for 3 days and 2 nights? That was my original plan, fully expecting this camera to last. It's literally made just for vlogging, but the battery life sucks. It's horrible. I won't know about the video and sound quality until I get back and edit, and I will let you know about that later. This is going to be a separate video for just the camera because I don't usually do product reviews. I did early on in the channel. When I see a serious problem, and this camera's retail is 500 bucks. When it costs that kind of money and it doesn't do what you need it to do, people should be aware. So I'm making you aware. I wouldn't invest in this camera. I mean, I had heard that the problem was that it had an internal battery. The reviews I had were mostly positive, that it makes a great vlogging camera, but I kind of glazed over the whole internal battery because it doesn't have removable batteries. You can't buy extra batteries and pop them in. That would have saved me a lot too. My camera from a few years ago, 2 cameras ago, that was the G7X1 or 2, G7X1, I don't remember. That came with extra batteries. I could buy extra batteries. I always carried them in a Ziploc. I could just pop in a new battery. And I also bought a really lightweight little battery charger that I could plug into my power bank, and I could charge 2 batteries at once, and it still wouldn't deplete this thing. This thing sucks power and uses it at an enormous rate. And so I'm not happy about that. But luckily, the investment I made isn't for naught. I have uses for it outside of the great outdoors. Cameras are very important to me. And this probably looks and sounds amazing, but it doesn't last long enough. So I'm going to be using it going forward for other purposes that are shorter term. And I absolutely have a use for it still. If I didn't, I would be furious. But I will make sure this video goes out. Not a fan. Not a fan. For this purpose, I'm not. Maybe most YouTuber vloggers just film in their bedroom. They can just plug it in and you can live stream on this and everything. One thing, a drawback they had was that you plug it in while you're live streaming, it doesn't charge the camera. So anytime you use the camera but it's plugged in, it's not charging. So you lose battery power that way. Okay, so as you can see, I got really frustrated with this camera, quote unquote off camera, but I kept all that footage just to show you what I was dealing with. Right now I am at 14 minutes and is it not showing the battery? Where's the battery? Oh, I have to film this way to see the battery percentage. That's weird. If I flip the screen and aim it towards my face, the battery symbol disappears. So I'm at 14 minutes. The battery is still showing full, even though I've edited parts of this for the sake of time. I am filming this in one long take. Okay, we are now at 20 minutes and 20 seconds, and I still have a full battery. So what I'm discovering from this little experiment is that if you film in 4K on this camera, you will drain the battery quickly and overheat the camera. It has not overheated. My next experiment after the cemetery here will be to take it home, where I filmed those little journals and it kept overheating, which was at my editing desk actually. So I'm going to sit at my editing desk and I'm going to let the camera run and we will see if it overheats in 1080p. I'm starting to think it's not going to. By the way, I apologize for this not being a very outdoorsy video, but I do plan on getting out quite a bit this year. I did not get out a lot last year, maybe 4 or 5 times, and I only made about 4 videos, and that was it. This next year, I plan on getting out much, much more. It's going to be a great experience for all of us. In the meantime, you may or may not have noticed if you've been a follower of the channel for a while. I've been doing this 12 years now, and many of those videos in the early days included my children in the videos. And I decided to delete those videos from my channel a few years ago when everyone was freaking out about kids being in their videos, and some people lost their channels because their income was basically, the parents were making money off of exploiting their kids in their videos. But my kids are just in my videos. They're not the reason for my videos, and my videos aren't monetized or anything like that. It's just a passion and a hobby. Of course, if I could make money on YouTube, I would. But that has not been my fortune in all the years I've been doing it. So what I've decided to do is re-upload those videos, backpacking and camping videos. You've probably noticed I already have, at this point, at least one video up of a camp out from 2014. Really? In the snow? But I plan on going through my entire back catalog and re-uploading those adventures, and if you haven't seen them, it'll be all new to you. But it's been really fun going back through them. I've had to re-edit some of them. My filming style and that kind of thing was pretty terrible back then. Not that it's much better now, but it's improved. Let's see, where are we at here? 24 minutes and still a full battery. This is crazy, guys. I think I've discovered the problem with this camera. Still a full battery. 25 minutes in. This is a lot of time I'm spending on this, trying to get this battery to die, but to be honest, it's just not. So yeah, I wonder why the battery icon disappears when I flip the screen this way. By now I've already posted a picture of the camera. The settings are pretty simple, they're easy to follow. Nobody in any of their reviews of this camera said anything about, by the way, if you film in 1080p, you'll be good. If you film in 4K, you're going to be frustrated. So I didn't notice that in anybody else's video. It's something I sort of had to figure out by watching not just the reviews of this camera, but GoPros. This is supposed to compete with the GoPro, I think. And it's fantastic. It's small, it's lightweight, so you can put this in your pocket. It's so easy to carry. There is no lens cover for the lens. I don't like that because I backpack and things get knocked around quite a bit, and I'd like the lens more protected. I'm gonna have to wrap it in a microfiber cloth or something. Hopefully you guys aren't turned off by me filming in a cemetery. It was just the only place. I walk my dog here all the time, and he needed to stretch his legs, and I thought, why not finish that video? Okay guys, we are at 31 minutes and 22 seconds, and we have a full battery still. So every time I filmed with this up at Ibantic Lake, up in the Uintas, up in that area, I would have to stop roughly every 15 to 20 minutes and recharge the battery. That's how quickly it was draining. It would turn red and blink and start crapping out on me. I'd have to stop my hike, sit down and charge it for half an hour, and then continue the hike. It took me forever to get to Ibantic Lake. It took a long time. To be honest, I'm pretty relieved. That is the problem with this camera. Don't film in 4K. Process it in 4K on your software. Stabilization is really good, as you can see. That's automatic. The days of the gimbal, I think, are over. People are no longer carrying those big clumsy gimbals around, because most cameras now are coming with a built-in image stabilization system, and this one has that. It's done really well. James Brown is dead. You guys know that song? James Brown is dead. This is looking good, guys. This has actually completely changed my perspective, because I don't mind filming in 1080p. This video is going to take a long time to edit because I am literally wandering. I'm giving it an entire hour. But so far, it's still recording. We are at... Okay, I got cut off abruptly there, and this time it wasn't an overheat. It wasn't the battery dying. I'm back home. Same day as the cemetery. In fact, just less than an hour later. I did not realize that several of those journals that I made on this camera were still on the SD card. We're talking 3 hours worth of video. So I ran about 35 minutes until the card was full, and then it just shut down on me. It said card full, recording stopped. So that was my fault. That's user operator error. Right now I am downloading some stuff to work on this video some more. So I told you I was going to experiment here. I'm going to leave this recording in my room. I'm not going to necessarily sit here and talk to the camera or anything, but I'm going to leave it recording. I'm going to let this run until the battery runs out. Now this is the same charge that I was using at the cemetery. It still says full battery. So I haven't recharged it. It went 35 minutes, and we'll see how much longer it goes until the battery is depleted. So I'm gonna leave this recording. It's kind of crazy, but I have to know how far I can push it, because when you're out in the middle of nowhere filming a video, it's very important to know if your gear is reliable. So I don't want to get out there again and find out, it's not working like it should. So I'm going to set this down. The lighting's going to change because the sun's coming through my window, and I am going to leave it right here, and then I'll come back and tell you how much longer the battery lasted, and also I'm going to let you know if it overheated or not. Now this is still in 1080p, so here goes nothing. Okay, I've kept an eye on this. It is at 32 minutes. The battery light is finally flashing red. I had 35 minutes clocked on this, so roughly an hour, you know, almost 70 minutes, almost an hour 10, but that's what was predicted when I looked at reviews online. They said battery life is about an hour. We're about at 68 minutes right now. It's still flashing red. I'm gonna keep talking until this thing just says we're done. So as soon as it shuts off, I have no idea. It's blinking red. It's like, dude, this is it. You're toast after this. It has not overheated, so it does not overheat in 1080p. Very important. It overheats in 4K, and the battery dies much faster in 4K because it was dying after like 15-20 minutes, battery dead. So 1080p is the way to go. I will be testing this on future trips. Here are some photos that I took of this camera so you know what it looks like, how small it is, and I think that's going to do it for this video. I'm not going to do any more since it didn't overheat. I'm not going to do any more filming. Hope you enjoyed this review. My feeling is I'll have to take this out on an actual trip and see if it does better in 1080p. Ultimately, that's going to be the deciding factor. So I better start planning a trip. That's it for me, guys. Do yourselves a favor. Get off the couch. Get outside in nature and have yourselves an adventure. The views, they're pretty decent, I guess. They're not spectacular right now, but they can be if you let them be. Okay, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Still blinking. Blinky, blinky. 35 minutes. 70 minutes. Still blinking, still going. Yep. We're just gonna wait and see. 35 minutes, coming up on 36 minutes. 36 minutes. 36 minutes of filming here in the room on 1080p. Solid filming, mind you. I couldn't do solid filming for more than 15-20 minutes on 4K. I've already said that, but I'm saying it again anyway. 36 minutes of filming. Filming. We're halfway to almost to 37 minutes. There's this guy walking his dog. He's in my video. He's on YouTube. He doesn't know it. I don't know him, and I didn't show his face, so who cares? 37 minutes. All right. So 72 minutes total filming time on 1080p without the battery dying yet. It's still blinking red. Okay, we will just milk this. We're going to see it through to the end. That is what we do. We see it through to the end. We don't give up. We don't quit, right? Right. 37 minutes. Coming up on 38. That'll be 73 minutes. When we get to 38 minutes, got about 10 seconds till we hit 38 minutes. 38 minutes. 38 minutes. So we are at a grand total of 73 minutes. Still blinking, still going. That battery light has been flashing for some time. I have no idea when it's going to end. I thought it would have stopped by now. 38 minutes. There's the Beatles. Look, it's trying to put a frame around George Harrison's face. It's trying to make sense out of that picture. Come on, man. Here we come up on 39 minutes.